now we're gonna talk about Stack Five, who is it's the Steven Jackson qualifiers friend of the channel.
Absolutely, bro.
So Steven Jackson, friend of the channel, man. Steven Jackson went off. Steven Jackson is a head coach in the Big 3 league. What's the name of the team that Stack Five coaches? Let's see. Where is my screen? Here it is. Here. So Stack Five is the coach of the DMV trilogy. Stack Five is coach of DMV trilogy. So Stack Five, Steven Jackson, head coach of the DMV trilogy team in Big 3. The team lost their first game of the season, and afterwards in the locker room, Steven Jackson was going off. He was going off on a rant with the players, and there was someone in the locker room who recorded his rant going off, and his rant has since gone viral on the internet. So much so that Steven Jackson had to address people reacting to his viral video later on his own accord. So this says, "I'll burn one of you hoes." Former NBA champion Steven Jackson blasts his team after first Big 3 defeat. "I will burn one of you hoes." Oh, let's see. Um, Former NBA champion and head coach of the Big 3 league team, the DMV trilogy, Steven Jackson did not hold back while blasting his team after their first loss of the season. After a 46-50 loss to the Houston Rig Hands, a video surfaced on the internet showing Jackson yelling at his players for their poor performance. I am not going to read any of that. I'll just go ahead and play the video. Jackson's heated response has since gone viral on social media. The former NBA champion with the San Antonio Spurs is more popularly known for his work as a host on the All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes. So the rest of the article just gets into Steven Jackson's career. But here is the video in question that kind of went crazy on the internet and had people talking about it.
Shit. When somebody want to fight, they want somebody to grab. Same bitch ass niggas be at the hotel begging me for shit. Now y'all want to show out in front of these people. One of you niggas get burned fucking with me. I'm not these niggas. Google me, bitch. I will burn one of you hoes.
All right, so I would say that qualifies as expletive filled.
Yes.
So that clip went pretty viral, prompting Steven Jackson to respond to that particular clip of him going off. So here is Steven Jackson's response to that video clip.
Whoever I'm gonna find out too this weekend and report back to y'all too on who the snitch was, who in the back recording. The locker room is off limits, so it shouldn't be nobody back there recording. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be, because it's not even my video. It's other stuff that go on back there that should never see the light of day in them locker rooms. So all that shit is off limits. So whoever recording, I'll see you this weekend. All right? I'll see you this weekend. But the locker room is off limits, bro. There's a lot of stuff that go on that should never hit. But you know what? Hey, somebody got to do it. And it ain't going to be the last time. And if I feel disrespected, I'm going to flash out again. And I don't give a fuck who like it. All you bloggers can kiss my ass. You uneducated, non-talented, non-accomplishing motherfuckers. Fuck all y'all.
No, that was a bit uncalled for there, Stack.
Man, come on, that's Stack, bro. He's uncalled for.
What did you think about that, man? The whole exchange there, him lambasting the guys in the locker room, and then he had to go on there and actually record a video, not necessarily cleaning any of that up, but just saying he's gonna find out who the snitch is.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised. When this clip started circulating, I was like, yeah, that sounds like something Steven Jackson would say. We've been chronicalizing this guy throughout this channel's history, and every once in a while, man, he'll come out and something's going on where he's not acting his age. He still acts as if he's a YN. I think the article mentions 47, so he's during their 50, but he's still acting like a YN. and he's constantly in this space where he has to prove that he's the toughest dude in the room. And it's old. To me, it's old. It made sense, man, back in 2004, 2005, hell, 2008. But, bro, that was 15, 20 years ago. So hang it up, bro, and be the OG that you're supposed to be. But no, he has to constantly remind us how tough he is and how much he'll crash out on his own life. We're the losers. We're the, according to Stack, we're the losers, the uneducated and untalented. And why would you throw everything or potentially throw everything in your life away to prove something to us? Because that's essentially what you're doing when you're saying that you're going to burn somebody in a locker room. You're only saying that to try to prove to everybody else in that room that you're the toughest guy in that room, or prove to anybody else. Because I've seen him pull up on O Block and record that and show that to the world. So untalented and unaccomplished people like myself can say, Stack, he's certified. He's certified in these streets. So he's so busy trying to prove to the uneducated that he bout that he's willing to throw everything away for that. So I also find that humorous. But what else do you expect from a YN? So YN, I guess the Y in YN, it's only an expression. It's not literal. You don't have to actually be young to be out here running around like that. So, I'm not for this. I think it was absolutely ridiculous for him to call the person in there a snitch. Snitching on what? I saw a clip floating around. I think that was today. Where Steven Jackson was talking about the Blazers locker room. And he was talking about how Bonzi Wells was fried one day because, they all went, somewhere and brought their own trees and started lighting it up. The whole team. He said from top to bottom, everybody was just getting blazed up on the Blazers. And you know how these internet guys do, or these NBA guys do on their podcasts where they're just sitting there spilling all the tea. I mean, these guys are gossiping about the locker room. Now, everybody could assume Bonzi Wells was getting high. Everybody could assume that, Zach Randolph was, getting toasted back there. But, we didn't need to know that, but here comes Stack talking about what's going on in the locker room on, to millions of people. So it's selective outrage. He's also guilty of it himself. He's done other things where he's talking about things that are going on in the locker room. Did he film it? Nobody talked about it. What's the difference? So yeah, Steven Jackson, hypocrite as usual, wannabe tough guy as usual, completely lost in the sauce as usual. So friend of the channel indeed, Steven Jackson never ceases to disappoint. But what are your thoughts, man, on Stack 5? Saying that he's going to burn one of you 304s and then doubling down and then saying that, hey, he's going to find out who that snitch is and he's going to see about him. What are your thoughts, bro?
I feel you. I feel where you're coming from. Not too long ago, we talked about a woman who went viral because she attended an Usher concert overseas. Mm-hmm. And she was an older woman. I think she's like in the education field or something. And
that's right.
Yeah, her participation in the Cherry segment of Usher's show went viral because of how into it she was. Mm-hmm. And, she came back and, she was playing it cool, being politically correct, talking about how, she was just doing it as being a part of the show. She's not really about that life. She's happily single and, blah, blah, blah. She's good with her life and she's not really checking for Usher like that. And it was just all about the entertainment value and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Right. And what I was saying was because relative to the age of human history, mm-hmm. we we sometimes fail to realize that we are actively aging with a lot of this stuff in real time. And what we're and so you would think that a mature woman of her age would be past the point of being an industry chick or being the kind of person who would hop on an entertainer's tour bus or be a cleat chaser or be an industry slower. But what we're actually realizing is we're aging with this stuff in real time. So there's going to be the 60, 70, 80-year-old industry thoughts. There's going to be the 60, 70, 80-year-old OnlyFans chicks. There's going to be the 60, 70, 80-year-old Instagram models. There's going to be the 60, 70, 80-year-old industry slores. You know, we don't see it now because we're living with it as these things are evolving in real time. You know, this stuff hasn't been around in previous generations. This is a new phenomenon that pretty much we're aging with simultaneously because it's a part of our generation. But over time, you're going to start seeing this play out where it just ages. And so the reason why I bring that up is I think Steven Jackson is a YN. And it doesn't matter that he's 47. That's irrelevant. We're aging in real time with the YN mentality. So there's going to be guys who are 60, 70, 80 years old talking like that.
It's crazy.
There's gonna be grown men 50, 60, 70, 80 years old who have that kind of mentality, who are on that, you know, alpha, on that faux, because it's not true alpha male, it's more like a faux alpha male mentality. The way that they conduct themselves and behave in conjunction with other people, you know, don't cross me, you know, don't scuff my shoes or we might fight. All of that hyper toughness that's unnecessary, like that kind of stuff is still around and it's not going to go anywhere. All we're going to do is age with it. So Steven Jackson's going to be in his 60s and 70s still talking like that. You seen what's the video? There's the more damn. I'm gonna look him up when I let you continue. But one of the more heavily viewed recent episodes of All the Smoke was Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson brought on. He's an old NBA player, Cedric Maxwell, I think. He played on the Rockets with Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh, Vernon Maxwell.
Vernon Maxwell.
Yeah, he was in that clip.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, right. So Vernon Maxwell is how old? He's pretty.
Vernon, a wild boy. Man.
He is, but my thing is, Vernon Maxwell talks just like Stack. He talks just like Steven Jackson.
He does.
And Vernon Maxwell is how old? He's older than Steven Jackson. Vernon Maxwell's in his 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
So the thing is, this stuff is just aging in real time with us. And it's catching a lot of us off guard because we're watching it, because there's people recording it, and because these people put themselves on podcasts where they are just basically displaying what their personalities and their mannerisms and their dispositions are like. But I think conventional wisdom, I think the two of us, and I don't think we're unique in this regard. I think a lot of people are like this. I think we process information conventionally. And I think conventional wisdom suggests that at a certain point with age and time and experience and maturity and wisdom comes a new way of doing things, a new way of talking, a new way of behaving, a new way of socializing, a new way of just acting in relation to other people. But the conventional wisdom is not really something that applies to a lot of people. And so if you're not someone who's beholden to that kind of processing mentally, you're just going to be somebody who ages and gets older still doing the stuff you were doing when you were younger. And you can attribute that to whatever trauma, environment, socialization, social engineering. I'm pretty sure there's a litany of things that we can attribute that to. But it doesn't matter that Steven Jackson is 47. He'll be 57, 67, 77, still talking like that. Yep. It'll catch us off guard because we process information conventionally. But we are watching it in time. We're watching it in real time, processing information conventionally. But to the masses out there who don't process information conventionally, we're just going to age with this stuff. So this is all a part of the new world that's here and will continue to evolve over time. You know, the normalization, the glorification, and the aggressive mainstreaming of sex working, that's a new phenomenon that's aging in real time. That's why I firmly believe you're going to start seeing these, you know, all of this stuff that we rail against, OnlyFans and Instagram modeling and chicks getting flued out and all of that other weirdo stuff that we talk about. They're going to be doing that at 60, 70 years old because we're aging with it in real time. And it's the same thing with YN philosophy, if you will. YNs are going to be 80 years old being YNs. So, you know,
Insane.
it is, but you know, that's just a part of new human behavior and this new world that we are living in which our actions and behaviors and our previous paradigms, because a lot of us are unable to undergo the paradigm shift that is sorely needed. We are going to continue to be deeply entrenched in all of these things because so long as it's so easy for us to consume and control the flow of information that comes to us via our feeds and our technologies and our phones and our timelines, the easier it is to come to believe that there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. Thus, a change isn't needed, despite the fact that we're getting older.
Yeah, well said, man. And you know, I gotta wrap my brain around that because you know, I do see it. You know, when I'm on TikTok or you know YouTube, sometimes you know I'll see because it's going down on Facebook with the old women, and you know they're bringing it to TikTok too, where these women are clearly grannies, and not the young grannies. You know, I'm talking about in their 60s and they thirst trapping. And they got dudes in the comments. They got dudes in the comments, bro. This is where we're at. So, it won't stop, actually. You know what I'm saying? It's too much, bro. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this anymore because I'm gonna have to deal with older people that are immature. I'm gonna have to deal with that. Is that what our generation is gonna be? Just a whole bunch of immature people? Is that what I'm gonna deal with? But apparently so.
Unfortunately, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's wild work, bro. I don't stand for this at all. You know, growing up is a challenge, man. It's not easy. It's easy to do the same damn thing every day, you know. But growing up and, you know, dropping habits, developing new ones, that does require work. And you do need to want to see that for yourself. And, you know, for people out there that don't do that for themselves, you know, to each their own. But me personally, man, I like to elevate. And you know, there might be some ways about myself that will still carry on when I'm 47. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is with that. But you're not gonna tell me that I wasn't out here trying to be a better version of myself daily. And you know, the part about it where, you know, Stack is out here talking about snitches and I'm gonna have to see about you. And it's like, man, bro,
Yeah.
like, at what point does any of that register, if at all? You know, because it's not like you don't hear it coming from the internet. We're just the haters. So it's wild, bro. So, hey, man, best of luck to you to Stack. You know, him embarrassing the Big 3 like that. I don't know if this is I don't know what they got going on this year. I saw Big Zesty getting into it with Lance Stevenson.
Yeah.
Saw that going down. So I don't know if this is their way of trying to spin up ratings. That's not the play for me. But hey, man, to each their own, bro. But don't embarrass him. Don't embarrass my dog Cube out there.
Yeah.
These shenanigans.
Yeah. Hey, man, people really do need to read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
Just read the section. Just read the whole book. you know, hopefully you can take something away from that, which is understanding that not only not only can you, and not only should you, but that it's okay and it's safe to just shift your paradigm. Just
Yes.
undergo a paradigm shift. We all should be, you know, welcoming of that idea. You don't need to go away from that because you feel obligated to stick to something else. It it do be people in them comments on them grandma thirst traps too. You right about
They
that.
be in there, bro. Those ain't bots.
It's unbelievable. But hey, look, man, if there's people subscribing to Lunel's dirty bathwater, if you got these crabs subscribing to Lunel's dirty bathwater bathing OnlyFans, why wouldn't there be people who are clamoring for granny thirst traps? Because it's not enough that you can see a young chick with who's caked up. It's unbelievable. We got to leave the comments on the old ladies who's caked up too. It's crazy, man. But you know, to the thing that you said about, you know, people maturing out of that and how it's hard work to have to commit yourself to doing it. That is true. And it's made even harder. And this is the thing about it. It's even harder to commit to making that change when you can just be on your social platforms and see other people in your cohort behaving the same way,
just getting down.
Yeah. So like when you see that so much, it sort of subconsciously impresses upon you the notion that what you're doing is just kind of the natural order of things because it's happening all around you, and that's how your cohort and everybody else who is in your age range is also acting. So if they ain't changing, why would you need to change? So that's the thing about that's what makes all of this technology and this social media and this media stuff and this internet stuff. It's really exacerbated the advent of people who just don't understand or prioritize the value of just allowing themselves to grow out of certain things that they don't need to continue to do.
Yep.
So like when people, you know, you can miss me with, you know, I'll try to tell like, you know, this social media stuff is real. You got a lot of people. There's a hefty element, you know, in both the mainstream and the internet media space who are trying to make the assertion that social media didn't have the fundamental change in society that it definitely did. And I think those deniers are people who just don't want their cash cow to disappear, because there's nothing that you can do to convince me that this stuff has not fundamentally altered the way people behave. It has. You can't convince me otherwise. And I think this kind of stuff is evidence of that.
Yep, man. Hey, but let us know down in the comment section, guys. What are your thoughts here, man? You guys feel as though we're overreacting here, that Steven Jackson actually should, see about his snitches? All right. Do you guys agree that he should burn one of them hoes? Please let us know down in the comment section, guys. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Me personally, I think he's completely out of pocket. And but hey, what else would you expect from a 47-year-old YN?
Very good way to put it. Vernon Maxwell, by the way, 59 years old.
Vernon, he is a crazy dude, man.
He's funny.
He's funny. His stuff is like he just cuss a lot, and it's like, damn, bro, you still think like that at 50, 49, 59?
59, yeah.
You still think like that, but he kind of he gives me that, you know, it's not I'm street with it. At least I don't get that from Vernon. I think he's just a very foul mouth older guy, which to me I find comedic. But Steven Jackson will pull out the toaster, right, on me, or the blick. What are these young people calling it nowadays?
Yeah. It is what it is, man. Hopefully he'll get it figured out. But shouts out to the Big 3. Shouts out to Cube. Shouts out to the Big 3. Is glad to see that come back.
Skr.